Dog training isn't really as easy as you think, is it? A lot of people really think that they know how to train a dog, and they really don't. Or some people think they know how to train a dog, but they don't realize there's a much easier way. Do you know what I mean? I think that some of the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to dog training is they don't realize how simple it is. That if you do it right and you do it in a very strategic way, dog training can be very easy. And if you do it in a way that the dog understands, then it's even easier. So in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 common mistakes that dog owners make when they're trying to train their dog themselves. And I'm also going to give you a link to a free step-by-step dog training course. And I'm also going to give you a link to a lot of other resources that are going to help you with training your dog. So I hope so much that this video is going to be helpful for you. If you've not been here before, my name is Deborah. I own this website called peoplelovinganimals.com. I do videos all about the care, health, and training of dogs and cats. We're going to use this video on my website called Top 3 Mistakes New Dog Owners Make When Training at Home. I'm going to give you a link to this post in the description box of this video. I'm going to give you a link to that free dog training course that you're going to see referred to throughout this post. And I'm also going to give you a link for some more videos and resources. So stick with me till the end and I'll let you know what other help I have for you. Getting a new dog or a puppy is exciting, but training them at home by yourself, it can be kind of tricky. And even well-meaning dog owners accidentally reinforce bad behavior. They delay their dog's progress in the training, or sadly, they give up altogether. One of my biggest heartaches when we talk about dog training is dogs who end up in the doghouse. Like, they literally end up living in the doghouse for the rest of their lives because they were adopted by the family, and even with good intentions, the family didn't know how to train the dog. The dog's behavior was so problematic that they put the dog in the doghouse. Like, they didn't have the heart to get rid of the dog. They wanted to keep the dog. And the dog ends up in the doghouse only because they didn't know how to properly train the dog. And again, it's not that they had any ill intention. They weren't successful in training the dog and controlling the dog's behavior. And unfortunately, the dog ends up suffering for it and being out in the doghouse. And also, you know what? You don't want a situation where you're mad at your dog all the time. You don't want to be hitting your dog. You don't want to be punishing your dog all the time. You don't want to be you don't want to be mad at your dog all the time, and you don't want to be aggravated by your dog all the time either. And your dog doesn't want any of those things either. So it really does pay off to take the time to learn how to actually train your dog and how to do it properly so that you don't have any of these problems. I hope today's video is going to help you to do that. Okay, this is the training that I'm talking about. It's from the folks at kingdomofpets.com, or I'm sorry, TrainPetDog.com. I'm confusing them with another dog training program. I have 3 that I recommend on my website. I'm sorry I made that mistake. This particular one is free, and it's a step-by-step dog training course, and it's from TrainPetDog.com, and I'm going to give you a link to that one. I'm sorry that I'm making mistakes today. Top 3 dog training mistakes new dog owners make. The first mistake they make is they wait too long to start training. They say, oh, wait till the dog settles in and then we'll start training. No, dog training needs to start from day one. If you've ever adopted a puppy or even an older rescue dog, you've got to have their habits form immediately, and waiting weeks or months, it only lets any bad habits that they have take hold, and it also just kind of leaves the dog confused. The dog's just kind of like in a limbo state. They don't really know what's expected of them. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing. So it really is to everybody's benefit if you have a plan in place for the dog and you initiate it day one as soon as your dog comes home. For example, set rules on day one: no jumping, no begging, that sort of thing. Consistency. This is what it's like to live in the house. This is what you're allowed to do. This is what we don't want you to do. Use consistent routines from the start. Reinforce positive behavior every single day whenever your dog is behaving well, or they go and lay down in their bed, or they go outside to go potty. Whatever they do, constant reinforcement. Just constantly reinforcing good behavior, with whether it's treats or it's just affection or it's just an attaboy or a pet. Just even constant positive reinforcement for when they're behaving well, that is dog training. You know what I mean? So consistency, setting up a schedule, giving positive reinforcement when they do things, they're kind of testing the waters too. If they're new in your house, they don't know you. They don't know what you expect. They don't know where they're supposed to sleep. They don't know where they're supposed to go to the bathroom. When are we going to eat next? They don't know. Do you know what I mean? So it is dog training when we talk about, getting these things set up for your dog from day one. The second mistake that some dog owners make when training their dog is using inconsistent commands or rules. Dogs do thrive on consistency and routine. If your family members are using different commands, or if the rules change for the dog, either depending on your mood, or depending on the time of the day, or depending what family member it is, the dog cannot possibly learn. You have to stay consistent. And if you don't live by yourself, if there's other people in your household, you all have to be on the same page about what the rules are for the dogs, what the commands are going to be for the dog, so that the dog doesn't get confused. For example, you can't say get off when the dog's jumping, but then the next time, somebody else lets him jump. Or you let the dog on the couch sometimes, but then you yell at him other times if they jump up there. Or if you let the dog sleep with you, but somebody else doesn't let the dog sleep with them. Or, do you know what I mean? Even if you're trying to potty train the dog, it's really, really important that everybody in the house get on the same page, and you're saying these are the steps, this is the method that we're using for training the dog, and these are the commands that we're going to use. This is the sort of positive reinforcement. You've got to be on the same page, and you've got to be consistent. Even if you live alone, you've got to be consistent. You can't let the dog do something one day and then you don't let them do it the next day. Do you know what I mean? How can they possibly learn? And so if they don't learn, they're not being disobedient, they're just plain confused. They don't know what you want. It's your job as the dog owner to teach your dog in a way that the dog can understand what you want and what you don't want. Okay? So, for example, choose 1 or 2 word commands for each behavior and stick to them. You might write them down on a family training sheet, put it on the fridge. These are the rules for the dog. These are the commands. This is what we're doing with the dog. And then reinforce the same rules every time. No exceptions, especially when the dog is young or when the dog is new to the household. You got to be real strict with the rules in the beginning. So it's like, okay, these are the rules. You can be a little bit more, lenient with things later on, but in the beginning at least, make sure that you're consistent. The third mistake is training only when there's a problem. Some people will get a dog and then they don't do anything about training until there's a problem, like the dog is barking nonstop or he's chewing on the furniture, that sort of thing. But the real training is proactive, not reactive. You don't want to be reacting to some behavior the dog's doing. You want to be proactive and start that training right from day one. Your dog needs mental structure, they need routine, they need regular practice, not just discipline when they misbehave. And by the way, discipline doesn't work. Get the word discipline out of your head. Seriously, stop it. Your dog doesn't deserve to be disciplined or punished. If you're in a position where you're having to punish your dog for something, guess what? You have failed, not the dog, you, okay? If your dog doesn't know where to go potty, if your dog is chewing on the furniture, if your dog is, doing this or doing that, that's on you. A dog is a dog. They need you to train them. So don't be in a position where you're just going to leave the dog. You're not going to give him any training. You're not going to give him any instruction. And then anytime he does something wrong, he's going to be disciplined or he's going to be punished. That's not the way to do it. And you're going to end up suffering for it in the end, just like the dog, because you're not going to end up with a well-behaved dog. You may not even like your dog. The dog might end up in the dog house, or you're being abusive to your dog because your anger is getting more and more. Your dog doesn't have a good life. They're getting more and more scared. They're getting more and more anxious. So then they're behaving worse and worse. Do you see what I mean? Don't think in terms of discipline or punishing. Think in terms of you as a dog owner getting the right instructions so that you know how to properly train your dog. And again, it's not that hard. It's all about consistency, routine, it's not that hard, okay? And again, I'm giving you a link to a free dog training course. So, and I also have a whole playlist on my YouTube channel for dog training, and I have a playlist for puppy training. Okay, so go ahead, take advantage of it. There's tons and tons of free stuff, not only from me, but on YouTube. There's tons of stuff, okay? So you can learn how to train your dog. You don't ever have to discipline them or punish them. But for example, train for 10 or 15 minutes a day, just short sessions. Don't make your dog sit there, just 10, 15 minutes a day. You're going to work on training. You're going to work on simple commands. You're going to say, let's walk out to the yard. This is where you pee. Good boy. Give him a treat. Maybe you do, some training on the walks. Like you're starting to, correct leash pulling, or there's all sorts of things you can do. You can practice boring things like just sit, stay, how to walk on a leash calmly, and you can make training fun with treats and toys and praise. I was going to say that you want training to be a positive experience for your dog, but you know what? You want you to be a positive experience for your dog. You want living with you to be a positive experience for your dog, okay? And if you will focus on that, guess what? The dog will give back to you tenfold, 100-fold, okay? There's just no mistake in it. If you will take the time to learn how to train your dog correctly and be consistent, and especially in the beginning, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to give the dog the courtesy of showing him how to behave, so that we can have a really nice life together. We can have tons of fun. He can jump in the car. He can go to the park with me. He can go to a friend's house with me. Do you know what I mean? It really is worth it. Again, I'm going to give you that course from TrainPetDog for the free training. If you are struggling with dog training, get a course. Now, there are other courses. I always promote Doggy Dan. There's a lot of videos on my YouTube channel promoting Doggy Dan's training. His training is really good. He has a video training website, and you can check that out. I'll try and remember to give you the link to Doggy Dan's website too, because he's really good. He's fun to watch, and his is all like video training, so you get to actually watch him. So I'll remember to give you the link to that one as well. So you can do this free online dog training course, and you can also check out Doggy Dan's training. And I think he also has a free, he does. He has a video training course that's free called The Easy Way to an Obedient Dog. So I'll give you that as well. Also, this other, the free dog training course that I'm talking about in today's video, I'm going to give you a link to my full review of that program. So if you want to find out more about it, you can go ahead and check it out. Now, I told you I was going to give you some additional resources. I'm going to give you some links to some videos. 7 myths about dog training, what not to do. Why you're struggling to train your puppy, 2 big mistakes. How to stop your puppy from biting, the biggest mistake you're making. 9 mistakes pet owners make. Don't shorten your pet's life. That's kind of a serious one. And common dog training mistakes and how to avoid them. So there's lots more videos for you, lots more resources. But my best advice to you is to sign up for one of these trainings, get some good step-by-step instruction, and incorporate it into your dog's daily routine and end up with a well-behaved dog. And have a happy life with your dog, right? So again, thanks so much for watching. I really hope that today's video was helpful. I hope you'll go in the description box and take advantage of all the extra resources, all the free trainings, all of the videos, and go ahead and hang out on my YouTube channel. Go through the playlist and see if there's anything in particular that you would like help with. Chances are I have a video. I've been doing this a long time. I have hundreds of videos on this YouTube channel. So I hope so much that it helped. Please go ahead and comment. I would love to know what you thought of today's video, and I would love to know if you have any questions or if there's anything specific that you would like help with. Again, my name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.